Hi everyone. If you are watching this video, I am going to make the assumption that you saw the title and that you are at a point in your life of exploring what it takes to overcome a fear, or that a fear is stopping you from doing something, that you are questioning that, well, maybe if I face this fear, maybe I can get through this, and there's something on the other side behind that door that might lead me to something of greatness that I have stopped myself from receiving. If you are at this point, then this video is probably for you. I can only showcase fear to you by giving an example of fear. And I'm going to use myself in this journey because the one thing to point out with fear, and I think that needs to be pointed out right off the bat, is that fear is biological. It's instinctive. It is something that we have. It's not always a bad thing. You know, I mean, back in the day when we were in survival mode before our time, if there was something like a saber-toothed tiger that was in our way and we had a fear, we knew there was danger to get out of there to survive. It's a survival mechanism. I think where it gets muddled is all of the bullshit that goes between it with anxiety, you know, where it can kind of get muddled with the what ifs to blocking you. And that's really the point where I really want to discuss today is the tips that I did and I'm still doing. I'm still doing it today. I'm doing it as of right now. I'm doing this right now. I'm doing it right now with things that are applying to my life. And you can apply this tip to whatever fear that you have, whether it be a phobia, whether it be a relationship fear, whether it be a career, whether it be family life. This can be applied into so many levels. It's really simple on breaking it down, but you have to do the work. You have to be at that state where you are willing to turn around and face it. So the first thing to do, which you have probably already done because you're on this video going, okay, how do I achieve this, get through this, is identifying this fear. The second thing that you're going to do is you are going to take the time to feel that fear. What comes up when you are in a state of fear? And I mean really feel it. Allow it. Is it something that physically comes up in your body? Is it shakes? Are you shivering? Are you sweaty? Do you get cold? Do you start breathing, heavily? Really identify the areas of where you are feeling it in your body, because it's so important is to know those feelings in your body. And then you're going to apply that as to when have I felt this way before? And really think back in your life through, it could be from your childhood and on. But allow those thoughts to come up. And don't knock it down. If a weird story comes up in your head, just go, no, that can't be it. Allow it to come up because it's coming up for a reason. It's absolutely coming. There is a reason why that thought came in. So you're going to have to take a piece of paper and a pen and write down all of the stories that you've told yourself of when you have felt this. And then you're going to tune that down as to why you felt that way, what those actions did to you to feel that way. Most of the time what happens is there's a core fear. And you'll see these patterns that come up over and over again. Core fear could be death, losing my life. Could be abandonment, which is a form of rejection as well. Could be, judgment. See those patterns, allow them to come up so that you can identify it. And then when you identify it, this is the real big one, because people think that something magical happens that you can just erase it. And the thing is that our minds, the way things work is when a story is served, it's served at that time. And we, as much as we want to remember something, our memory of a story may change over time, right? Because depending on what vibration we are in this state in age, where you might remember something a little bit different that happened that day. But allow those changes in the story to, once you start identifying it, it kind of unravels, it releases the story and unravels that feeling, and it does dissipate. It does go away. It served you at that time. And be forgiving to yourself or whoever parties were involved to give that, if there are parties involved, to give you that. And allow it to come up so that it can be released. And once you get through that, you have to have the ability to take ownership of what it is. For me, my biggest one is abandonment. That I can break down everything and I can always feel like, am I going to be abandoned? That is my thing, abandonment. And when I allow that to come up, it's also the fear of being judged. So it's these things of where I allow it to come up, and it comes up in layers. Like I said, I might think that I cleared the abandonment issue, months ago or years ago when I went through stuff, and then it comes back up in another story or another situation in my life. And I go, here it is again. Well, it's here for a reason. It takes time to pull these layers in, and you might have cleared something within that layer before that got you further. But when you are able to face your fears is when you're at the ability to know what that fear is, because it's a control thing, right? We don't know what's on the other side. The anxiety of it, the what ifs, stop us from doing anything. It's like, I don't know, skydiving, right? If you're afraid of heights and you go to skydive, what are the thoughts that are going through your head? Could it be that you're going to go splat on the ground? Oh my God, what's going to happen to me? Oh my God, the parachute might not open. Oh my God, what if this happens? What if that's so you build yourself up, right? No, I'm not going to do that. No, nope, that's not for me. That makes me uncomfortable. No way, that's uncomfortable. The more you start facing these fears, you don't know if you're in the level of seeing something great or what that potential is. I always wanted to do films and documentaries when I was younger. I moved away from that. And one of the fears I had was the rejection, the abandonment. It was a big deal for me to get in front of the camera. So I always went behind the camera. And nowadays I'm going, well, what important thing could I possibly have to say that people will want to listen? And then I think about all of the people who are out there showcasing things or opening people's eyes to new things or around the world, being the curious cat. And that's something that always lit me up. That was something that I always got excited about. Why was I stopping myself from doing that? If it's something that brings me light or lights me up, why wouldn't I pursue that? So I had to really dig deep on these fears. And it is something that the more you do it, the more you start facing your fears, the quicker you will see these growth spurts in you. And you'll realize, why did that fear even exist? Why was it even there? Or you'll even get into the level of, oh, I know why this is happening. I have my abandonment issue again. That's why I'm freaking out and having reactions. Let me step back. What do I need to tell myself? I'm worthy. I'm absolutely worth this. I'm able to do these steps now a lot quicker than I was years ago, where I would be stuck in this, or I would just ignore, get escape mode, or feel bad for myself. Oh my God, I love playing victim. I didn't even realize I was playing victim until I looked back and was like, holy shit. Was I an amazing victim of blaming everybody else and not owning my shits? I need to own my shits. I need to own my fears. Let these monsters go away, because they are not serving me. These aren't fears of surviving. These are fears that are emotionally hindering my growth in life. And that was the big difference for me. But as a biological response, it's there for a reason. It's there to protect us. But sometimes it does not serve us. And sometimes we need to really take the time to look into our lives and see where that belief came and to work on it. But you have to take the time to do it. I'm curious, for those of you who do have these core beliefs of what it breaks down after you do this, when you do this homework, because you're at the state I know you're going to do it. Comment what your fear is. Own it. Own your fear. Even by owning it, you are unraveling it. Is it judgment? Is it abandonment? Is it death? Own it. Go ahead, comment down what your fears are. If you like this video, go ahead and hit the like button. If you feel guided to join me on future episodes, go ahead and hit that bell. Hit it twice if you want to get notified for future episodes. Take care.